I'm a simple man. I like basketball, banana pudding, and fighting games. It's pretty much what I'm about. I guess I like exercising and kind of like bike riding a little bit, but mostly those three things. So, thought I would explain to everybody why I'm always ranting and raving about how damn good this game is. This is For Honor. This is the PS4 version, and I just recently got the full version of the game 2 weeks ago? Last week, I believe, as a birthday gift. Thank you, Derek. So I figured I would make this video to explain to people what the hell For Honor is and why I'm so crazy about it. So, off the bat, For Honor's menu is terrible looking. It's just a mess of nonsense. I don't know why. I've always thought this thing was terrible looking. But, it covers the basics basically. You got a multiplayer mode, you have a story mode. Story mode is a single player thing. I think you can also play co-op, so that's right there on the screen. The multiplayer is the various online modes. You don't actually have to play against other players, but I'll get to that in a minute. I figured the best way to explain to somebody what For Honor is actually to do the tutorial. So I'm just gonna do that I guess live here for you guys. I do not remember if they will straight up let you play the intro tutorial again. Alright, so this is the tutorial. Apparently I was right that does let you play it. I'm playing as the Warden, which is the basic class they give you. This game is about knights, samurais, and Vikings. Alright, so you hold L2 to enter guard mode. So you can walk around like a normal person. If you hold L2, it locks you onto a target, video game stuff. That's important though for this game. And then you click L2 again, you switch targets. Straightforward stuff. Cool thing about that is you don't have to. It helps when you have multiple targets to keep you, able to switch fast. But this is the important part. This is kind of why For Honor is like unique and special, and why I'm crazy about it and stuff. So you guard in this game. Your guard can be in one of three directions. You can either guard left, guard right, or guard up. And you see the little thing on my character there. Right now I'm guarding up, so it's pointing at the top. If I go left, it goes to the left and to the right. That's kind of the core of this game. So all of the attacks, for the most part, in the game come from one of those three directions, which you're about to see here. So I have to block this dude's attacks. And this is where you get kind of the sword fighting style. So you see he has this thing on the right, which means, he switched to the left. So he switched to the left and he attacked from the left. Again, same thing, and I assume he will go, yep. So I'm just matching the stick direction to him. And I don't have to hold the direction with this character class, but some classes you do. So I just flick the stick to up to switch to up, and I automatically block any direction, any attack from up. And if I'm gesturing with my hands while I talk, I'll miss a block and get hit. Like so. Alright, so we blocked that dude. And he's gonna fall over. Oh, he didn't. Okay. They fall over in the other training modes when you finish a tutorial. So your attacks are light and heavy, R1 and R2. So I guess I'm just supposed to beat up on this dude. And they come from the directions you strike. So this is left heavy. Oh wait, I'm gonna do light attacks. So that's left light, right light. I can't hit him up top because he's blocking up top. So if I do that, he deflects it. But I can go right and left on this guy. Now I don't remember if the tutorial covers it. There's also a stamina system to stop you from just mashing buttons. We'll see it when we play some actual matches later. But alright, so the same thing but with heavies. Notice again he's blocking right, so if I swing right to block it, but I can go overhead and ruin his day. Throw my taunt out there. Oh, I guess now's a good time. So there is a full move list. A lot of the characters have little button combos like this one. This is a light, light, heavy. This is light, heavy. This is heavy, heavy, and so on. And then there's stuff with Square that does grabs and guard break type moves, which kind of mix up the rock, paper, scissors game a bit. And then characters have specific stuff, like this character has a kind of mix up that's a light and then a grab and then another light, and that matters more for other characters than it does for the Warden. But you'll see some of that. Wardens specifically are kind of straightforward, that's why they have you do the tutorial as one, which is one of the knight classes, but the classes get pretty out there, and I'm actually still learning what the differences are and how many there are and all that. Capture this zone. These dudes are doing some stuff. So one mode in the game is, I forgot what it's called, but it's somewhat MOBA-esque in that you have these little NPC guys out here that are super weak, kind of like creeps in like a Dota or League of Legends type of game. This game is definitely not a MOBA. This part of the game where you're fighting the NPCs like this is not a huge part of the game. In fact, I probably played about 10 hours of this game since I got it, and I've played exactly one match of this mode. So like if you're a person who is turned off by MOBAs and doesn't like care about that style of gameplay, like this game is fine because it's not that. Even this mode though, when you do have the mode with the little NPC dudes like this, is not focused on this part of it. In fact, the match I played that had these guys in it, I spent the entire match fighting other players. So it is kind of not really hiding the fact that it's a fighting game. It's got a unique perspective, obviously being third person and focusing on like the melee combat stuff, but this is definitely, it's a fighting game as fighting game, and maybe that's part of why I like it so much. Also that and like the graphics are ridiculous. Like it's a preposterously good looking game, and I don't get jazzed about how games look too often because nowadays kind of every game looks good, but like this one in particular is pretty visually astounding in my opinion. From just like the animations to the physics on like the clothes and this lady's ponytail. There's some of the momentum physics for like when you block attacks and stuff are really crazy, and just the environments are nuts. You don't see that much in this map, but you'll see it in some of the other matches later on. Anyway, you gotta dodge multiple directions. I guess I have to actually dodge his attacks, so I'll try that. I didn't actually notice that, but that little fire or orange indicator there means that was an unblockable attack, and I didn't realize that the game actually teaches you here that that's how you should deal with unblockables. But that's important, because people have unblockables, and they're real bad. And this part teaches you about guard breaking, basically that if someone's guarding in any direction, if you hit square, you kind of grab them. I guess it's a guard break, not a grab, but in every fighting game it would be called a grab. And then you usually get one free hit after if it's a light attack. A heavy will be a little bit too slow, but he won't block a heavy because he's AI and he's supposed to make me feel good about myself. And then the way to cancel a guard break, like if someone's grabbing you, is to grab them back just like in Street Fighter or, you know, other fighting games. Also, if you grab, that's what it is, guard break, and then you press it again, you get a throw. So if I hit square twice, I can throw a guy. You can aim the throw. So I can throw this dude like into this wall here, if I'm good at it, which I'm not. And then he'll get kind of staggered against the wall, and you can really mess him up. It also means you can grab people and like throw them off cliffs or into spike traps or into other fighters and knock them over and stuff like that. That's a huge part of the game actually, and it stops it from just being that you know, rock, paper, scissors style, black left, black right, block up sort of gameplay. Okay, so back on the main menu, I played the beta for this game before it came out, and I was very fond of it. I enjoyed that quite a bit, but the beta was entirely multiplayer because it was a beta. I just got around to playing the story mode a few weeks ago. I talked about this a little bit on the podcast, but the thing that really got to me about the story mode is it's a really good story. I guess it's well told. It's not super complicated, so good is maybe a strong word, but it's really well told. You get a little bit of background on the mission here.
Valkenheim. We needed to reach the fortress at Sverngard before the Vikings had a chance to respond. But at the great cliff that splits the valley in half, we found our way forward.
Yeah, what she said.
Fortunately, we had a peacekeeper, Mercy.
So what she just said about Mercy, the peacekeeper here, this is actually kind of a bonus character. You don't start the game with this character unlocked. For the rest of this story, you're playing as a Knight Warden, which is the class you do the tutorial with. And this one, you play as Mercy for this mission, who is a peacekeeper. Peacekeeper is one of the classes you can unlock. So I don't actually remember how peacekeepers work, so I'm gonna have to get my bearings here. and check out the move list and all that when we get into the map here. But this is just a random mission. I'm probably not going to play the whole thing for time purposes, but I don't know. It seemed like a fun thing to do. But yeah, the story tells you it's one concurrent story. It starts off with you playing a knight, then you move to playing a Viking, and then you go to playing a samurai. And the story ties all three factions together in a weird kind of pseudo-chronological way that I found to be really intriguing to follow.
Our army needed passage.
Got some pretty decent voice acting.
The Warborn can be creative when they want to be.
Also, demographics, homie. Okay, so, like, you know, any, like, single-player game, the story missions are a lot of walking around. There are collectibles to find. There are things to unlock. There are kind of, like, audio logs to listen to. And I should mention, unique to this character, your blocks have limited times. So if I, like, block left here, you see the little white thing disappears. So you're only blocking while that white thing is up, which means you have to time your blocks as this character. That's one of the trade-offs to playing like a really offensively based character rather than a defensive one. Which is what the game is telling me right now. I believe this character also has, dash deflects, so I can move as a dodge into the block position, and that'll get me to close the distance and also will block the attacks. Yeah, I forgot how to deal with two people. I should also mention, this is a really bloody game. It's got some really, like, realistic, effective gore and stuff going on, but, I turned all that off because I promised that I would show my buddy Tyler, shout out to him, this game a couple of weeks, or last weekend, and didn't have a chance to, but I turned off all the nasty bits and thought I would get this video out there.
Apollyon asked me to clear the way.
Because Apollyon asked me to clear the way.
I obeyed.
So this is a berserker I'm fighting now, and then there's, what is he? I don't even remember the rest of the Viking class names, to be honest. I'm still learning that. And I also don't play as Vikings in multiplayer, so... Okay. I really should have checked that move list. Oh, okay, we're doing alright. When I get attacked, you'll see the red indicator for where the enemy's going to attack from, but it also kind of blinks right before the hit connects. You can do a heavy attack right before that blink happens, and you'll parry the attack, so I'll try to do that here. I failed to do so. There we go. And then that kind of staggers them, and you usually get a free light attack after that. Also, the green bar under her health is her stamina. And let me focus on not dying here. Give me a second. Okay. That's her stamina, and you lose that as you attack, but you also lose about a third of it if you get parried, which means since you can only parry heavy attacks, it's a risk to throw one out because A, they're slow, and B, if you get it parried, that's a huge cost to your stamina. When you lose all your stamina, you attack slower, you can't sprint anymore, and getting parried again will automatically knock you to the ground, which is a position from which you can't block, so that's real bad. So yeah, it's a sword fighting game. Or, well, as I fight with like 2 daggers against a dude with an axe, but you get what I'm saying. It's like a weapon-based melee game. Here's an incredibly violent execution, made less violent by the fact that all the gore is turned off.
We will leave this place.
And then I think these are exclusive to this mode, but you get little like bombs and stuff that you can use in story mode. Oh, all right, that's not the kind of bomb I thought it was. But yeah, there's stuff that you can do to that end. I said I would check the move list. Okay. And these have different properties, like this one causes a bleed effect, so the enemy takes damage over time if you hit them with it, which is useful in this game because, you know, attacks can be blocked, so if you can get this quick hit in, then you don't have to worry so much about your opponent's defense because they'll still take damage. This one, for example, is a riposting stab, which means like if I do the dodge deflect thing right after I parry their or not parry, but deflect their attack, I can hit them with a quick stab that puts a damage over time effect on them, or poisons them, or makes them bleed, or however you want to phrase it. So yeah, little, bits and changes, tweaks to each character type. And in addition to all that stuff, this character can cancel heavy attacks into a guard break, which is really useful because people start to predict heavy attacks, especially when they like to parry. So you can do a fake one and then guard break them like that when they're trying to guard against your heavy. And it's real bad fighting against a player who knows how to use that stuff. Meanwhile, I'm gonna keep getting hit by this heavy from this character. I've been awake a long time today, people. Just want to put that out there. That little eyeball on that boat back there behind this guy, it's one of the collectibles. Some of the collectibles are called observables in story mode. They just give you a little like lore when you click them, and then obviously there are like achievements and trophies and stuff attached to having seen all of those.
That warden is a decent person.
So this character, she's on the Knight's side of the army. This is part of the Knight storyline. She's referring to the warden that you control in the other Knight story missions. There's some stuff going on where it seems like maybe the
volcano's cloud has
seems like maybe
this place.
the person running the Knight army, Apollyon, is maybe not the best of people. And so this character's kind of wondering why that warden, your character you play in the other missions, would agree to some of Apollyon's plans and stuff, knowing that she seems like maybe not the greatest of people. And that kind of persists throughout the story, that like questioning who Apollyon is and what her motivations are and stuff. Like I said, it's a pretty interesting story for, consider what stories are like in most fighting games. Like, it's a pretty good one. One of the better ones, I would even say. Like, I would put it maybe top 3. Obviously not as good as like Injustice and those games, but definitely better than Street Fighter and Tekken and those games, I would say. Alright, so this is a pretty long mission. Let's hop out of here and I'll show a little bit of multiplayer. I'm gonna jump into multiplayer here. So the first thing you get is this ridiculous map. It's for the kind of meta game that's going on with this game. So you choose a faction when you first boot the game up for the very first time, between Knights, Samurai, or Vikings. And you can play any character from any faction, but the reason why you choose the faction is because the matches you win contribute toward your group taking over a territory. Right now, since Knights are yellow, they, I believe, are... they're in second place, and it looks like Samurai are... No, that's Vikings. Vikings are ahead, the red guys here. The match types take place in specific locations in this map. So all the deathmatch types are over here. Duel and Brawl are down here. Dominion's over here. I mostly, and I think everybody mostly plays Duel and Brawl. Before I get into that, you have kind of daily quests. So you see they have timers on them for how long I have to complete them, and you get bonuses. Steel is the currency that you can buy with real money, or you can earn it in game. It's used to unlock new characters and costume stuff. XP is for leveling up. I don't really even know what leveling up does right now. I haven't figured that out yet. But we'll take a quick peek at that. So this is the hero screen. I only play 2 characters. So I've got a level 8 Orochi and a level 8 Warden. These are all the Knight characters, by the way. Conqueror, Peacekeeper, Lawbringer, Centurion, and the newest one is Gladiator. For the Vikings, the newest one is Highlander, Valkyrie, Berserker, Warlord, and Raider. And then Samurai, you have Kensei, I guess Shigoki is how you pronounce that. Orochi, which is probably my favorite class that I've played so far. Nobushi, which is the one I'm worst at fighting against because they just beat the crap out of me. It's crazy, like every time. And Shinobis, which are the newest one. I should probably try them. I actually haven't yet. You see, like, for example, with this guy, it says it costs 15,000 steel to unlock. That's not a crazy amount because of the daily quest, but it is still, you probably have to do 3-4 days of daily quest to have enough to unlock a character. Unlock one of the newer characters. The regular ones are 500. So it won't take long to unlock all those. Anyway, once you have a character unlocked, You get all this craziness. There are stats attached to your gear. So I got this chest piece that raises my defense by 1% and lowers my revenge mode defense and all this stuff. And then you can upgrade those things. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And it costs, what, 15 steel and 9, whatever that is. Oh, those are like your gear points. The 9 thing there. So upgrade this, and I'll show you. Alright, so if I pick a piece of equipment, and I think I have some that I would like to do this with, actually. I don't. But you can also dismantle them, and it says +5 of, I think it's called salvage. Yeah, it says it at the bottom there. Salvage is one of the materials, and if you get a piece of gear you don't like, you can salvage it. You know, it's stuff you've seen in other games before, but it's just kind of applied to a different format for the game. Have a ton of appearance options. My actual armor is based on the gear I have, so like the bracer she has on, and the shoulder things, the metal parts on the front of the chest piece, all that stuff is based on my actual stats. But the appearance stuff is all colors, cosmetic stuff. This ornament on my head, I paid some steel to get a rabbit ear thing. There's an engraving on your gear. You can change that here. So like you have some pretty wide options. Also, I believe most of the classes can be male or female, except for a few that are gender specific, and that's actually, I think, a kind of cool touch that only certain ones are gender specific, and if they are, it's because that character class has some role within like the society of that clan or whatever. So it's pretty well thought out. So anyway, yeah, there's some character customization stuff. These abilities matter for the one mode that's kind of MOBA-esque. I think it's called Dominion. The executions are purely cosmetic. You know, they're just animations that you get when you get an execution, which you unlock by killing somebody with a heavy attack. There are, you know, a few of them. You can buy them with steel. I might buy that one. That's pretty good. And then yeah, there are 6 of these per character, so you can factor in the number of characters. Like those get pretty crazy. But anyway, and you got emotes too. All right, so emotes. Now, you can hit this button to search for gear. You also have a chance of getting gear at the end of a match. I don't really care too much about gear right now, so I'm not going to dig into that. And this is super important. I actually should check that out maybe. This how to fight thing. I'm not going to dig into it, but basically you get videos of all the things your character can do, which is one of those things that like is really great about how this game is designed, because fighting games, I think fighting games are like the best type of game in the world, but a lot of people shy away from them because they're really hard to learn and they involve a lot of losing until you slowly piece these things together. But with stuff like this, where it specifically tells you not just like, hey, here's a move list, but also here is specifically, you know, why you would use a move, when you would use it, what it looks like when you successfully do it, you know, how to do combos, which is what it's showing right now. Like that stuff is a pretty big deal, and it's the stuff that like if you ask somebody, hey, teach me how to play Street Fighter or Tekken or Marvel or whatever, like that's the stuff they're going to be explaining to you. And it's nice that this game just kind of has right on every single character, here's, you know, how they work. Even this one gives you like some psychology about that it's a lot of harassment and counterattacks playing the Orochi, which, you know, if you're just playing the character, you might not pick up on that because you're just like, well, whatever, I'm gonna check the move list and do the moves on the move list, not really thinking about, I see the goal is that I use these moves, you know, toward the goal of harassing the opponent and baiting them into my counterattacks and stuff. That's just good stuff. Like every fighting game could benefit from that lesson that this game has. So anyway, that's out of the way. The meat of this game is multiplayer. It is, I guess robust is the right word. I was actually really surprised playing the beta just how much stuff is in the multiplayer to this game, outside of just this metagame stuff, but like just the modes themselves. The most important thing about multiplayer in this game, which is also one of the best things about it, every multiplayer mode can be played versus AI. So if you don't want to play against other players, but you want to, you know, you like the combat for this game, you think the modes are cool, whatever, you can play every single mode in the game against AI, and all of the stuff that happens in that match factors into this whole faction war thing on this screen, factors into your daily orders right here, factors into your character growth, gives you XP, gives you steel, gives you gear, all that stuff. So you can literally play everything in this game, never have to worry about playing against another human player. It does require like PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold and all that stuff to play online, even though you're not necessarily playing with other players if you don't want to. But still, the idea of a multiplayer suite for a game like this that you can, you know, entirely interact with without having the pressure of playing against some, you know, that person who's been playing the game for 1,000 hours and it's just gonna wreck you every time. Like, that's brilliant. That's, in my opinion, like one of the things that makes this game worthy of some serious praise. So with that in mind, I'm gonna look for a PvP match, the exact opposite of what I just said, and play a one-on-one duel. I do not do very well in this game, but I've also only played it for, I think I played it a total of 3 times since I got it. I don't know if I'm going to commit to this game in terms of like trying to get really good at it. I mean, it's a fighting game, and I kind of take my fighting games pretty seriously. And I've been struggling in Street Fighter V as of late, so I kind of want to right that ship first. But I'll at least get good enough that I can play with friends and you know, not hold the team back. Alright, I'm gonna go with Orochi again. I guess Orochi is kind of my main. It's a lot of counterattacks and dodge type abilities. Load times in this game are kind of crazy, but it should be mentioned they do let you do everything while you load. You can check out your move list. You can do equipment stuff. You can assign your daily missions for your steel bonuses and all that. Obviously, you can voice chat during the loading screens. In a larger match than just a one-on-one, you would be seeing like all the other character classes in the match, so you can kind of adjust your strategy based on that.
Round 1.
Alright. This dude is, I believe, a Lawbringer. Let's do this. I think I'm a little bit too passive, but I haven't really figured out how to correct that yet. Got a parry right there. That was an unblockable. I tried to dodge it, but it didn't actually reach me. Uh-oh, that time it did. Okay. For the most part, this game's actually been pretty lag-free too, which is important, especially for, you know, characters like this one who are timing and parry counterattack based. Let's see if I can get this. Nah, it's not gonna. Alright. If they come close, you can usually get that move off. Ooh. That's a good counter. I need to stop attacking so I can get some stamina back.
Victory!
Okay. Oh, there's some quick commands. You can compliment or insult people. They get overused, as you would expect in a lot of matches. Now, this section of this map, I believe, has some environmental hazards on the wall there. I'm not sure. Oh, I dashed the wrong way. Yep. Yeah, it's an environmental hazard. So I could have countered his grab with another grab and it wouldn't have knocked me back. Or I could have just not stood right in front of the freaking hole and got knocked into it. But now I know that.
Round 3.
This one you can knock people off of these ledges here. The fall will kill a player if you're in combat, so that's one option. Game's got real good fire. I completely lost this dude. That's not good. Oh. Thanks, headphones, for telling me that he was on my left. That could have been a nightmare. Okay, so what I'm kind of realizing, this guy doesn't adjust his directions much when he attacks. That's something I can take advantage of. Got a parry. So one thing this character can do that's unique to this character is on a dodge, deflect. So if I dodge in the direction of his attack, I can do an unblockable right after. And I believe it's unavoidable. So if I get that deflection on a dodge, you're going to get hit. And that's pretty cool. One more heavy. Oh, good dodge. Try my fancy one. Oh, I blocked it. Okay. Oh wait, I have one more fancy little step back thing too. I'll try to get it here. I have to bait him into attacking though. He's really focused on blocking, so I'm gonna apply some Street Fighter logic here and go for the thing that he's not preparing for. Never mind, got a free parry. Alright, I'll go for it again. Man, it's got a lot of health. As you've probably seen, generally speaking, most characters have about enough health to take 6 to 8 hits. This dude, his character is, you know, one of the hardier character types in the game. Oh, okay, I thought that was gonna hit me. I got worried. See if I can get him one of these little... Oh, he's recovering health. That explains so much. I'm learning.
Victory!
Okay, I need to check this real quick. So I've got... Okay, R1 3 times, R2, R2, and R2, R1, R1. Got it. Alright, so I'm up to 1, and it's first to 3. My screen is like that because my stamina is gone. Actually, his was too, though. Oh, this is bad. So you can still block when your stamina's gone, and you can still attack. But, yeah, I was gonna say that. A grab will knock you to the ground. So now his stamina is gone. I'm gonna go for a grab. Oh, he just got it back. That was a ballsy move. He's gonna have to come at me. See what he does. So you get a free light attack after a parry, but I just instinctively keep trying heavy attacks after parries, which is a stupid idea.
Victory!
I would compliment his abilities. Alright, I'll probably be streaming some of this game and might make some more videos on it as time goes on. In fact, I'll almost definitely do some more. But I thought this would be a good, just kind of a show of what this game is. Like, it's a melee combat-based fighting game. I'm going to leave this match and see if I can get into one more. So if you want to know the biggest negative thing about this game, it's probably, honestly, the player base. My understanding is that the game didn't catch on super well. Like, it sold well out of the gate, but a lot of people didn't stick with it. My guess is that people kind of learned it's a fighting game, and like I said before, fighting games are not for everyone. So the multiplayer scene in this game is not that that huge from what I hear. This is the longest I've ever waited for a match. Coincidentally, it's when I'm recording a video and on a time frame, but it is what it is. But yeah, I wonder, I don't think it's a quality thing. The game reviewed well, people seem to like it, it sold well, all that stuff. The players who play it love it. But yeah, they didn't stick with a lot of people. So maybe it's other games, or it could just be that it's a fighting game. And generally, if people stick with a fighting game, it's because they are that kind of person who's gonna put all that time and effort into them and all that. Similarly, you know, the same thing's going on right now with Tekken 7. I've heard about that game having like a huge drop off in the player numbers lately. King of Fighters, whatever year it is, right? 14, I think is the new one. 15, 14. Same thing. It's kind of not happening with Street Fighter 5 as much because that game gets on TV and all that crap, so it kind of draws in new players. Plus, it's super cheap nowadays. But that's a unique case. Like, fighting A's are popular, but people who stick with them are kind of few and far between, I guess. So I got into a match that had just ended, I believe. Yeah, it looks like it. Alright. I forget exactly how elimination works. I'm gonna switch to Warden for this one, just for the sake of showing a different class a bit. You get feats, which are kind of sort of Call of Duty style perks. They unlock in the match as you do stuff, but you kind of choose what the loadout will be on this screen. I don't have many of them, so I'm just gonna go with what I got there. I'm a big fan of these dope loading screens. Like, all the characters look super tough in this screen. Oh, we also have a bot. So yeah, the game will do that too. If it can't find players, it'll populate a game with bots, and then if players join during the match, it'll replace the bots with players. Just, you know, stuff you've seen before, but again, like, logically applied to a different format of a game.
Round one.
Okay. I think... Alright, so I'm fighting the Orochi right now. So my other 3 teammates are also fighting people over in their corners of the world. So he's out of stamina. He's about to be in some trouble. You know, provided I don't keep missing. Oh wow, I don't know why I was able to block that. Alright, so as I mentioned, it's elimination, so I am dead. These are my 2 teammates I have left. So it's 2-on-2 right now. Now you can revive. Oh, he did. Wow. Yeah, they revived a guy. Our team did. So now we're in the lead 3-1. And I can kind of pull the camera out here and see it that way too. I think that's my dead body. You can sort of zoom it in. I like to do this when I'm like bored in between deaths, but put it back on the follow camera there. Oh, this poor guy. So when you are outnumbered like this, you noticed earlier the lock on is only on 1 character. But when you are outnumbered and there are other characters fighting you, it simplifies the guard system so that you, anyone on the left, you just block by blocking left. Anyone on the right, you can block by blocking right. So you don't have to worry about a lot of the mechanics of how guarding works in this game when you're outnumbered. Because I can parry pretty well, which probably just comes from Street Fighter practice, I get people out of stamina pretty easily. But I gotta get better at like capitalizing on that when it happens. So like this person's out of stamina twice now. And now I am too. One of the other unique things about the Knight class, or I'm sorry, the Warden class for Knights, is that your top light attack is a parry. So if I time that when other people are attacking from that position, I get an advantage. How many people did I hit? Okay. It's like it's 3-on-3 right now. Running was the right choice. I believe that little thing will give him a defense buff, but I'm not sure. Oh, I got it. Bummer for him. So as you take damage, you accumulate Revenge Meter, which is that yellow bar that's replacing my health there. Oh, I revived the person I beat earlier. When you activate Revenge Mode, you immediately parry every attack that's aimed at you at the time, and then you, I believe, attack faster and you hit harder. The great thing about that is since it builds up when you defend, or when you block and stuff, when you're outnumbered, it fills up faster. And then that gives you the chance to kind of pop Revenge Mode and wreck a group of people. Executions heal you, that's why it's kind of good to go for those whenever you have the chance. Alright, so it's 2-on-1. I have one guy left on my team, and then there's one enemy left. I believe the only one he can revive is this person, so I need to make sure he doesn't get that opportunity. Oh, he found him. Alright, so let me get over there. This is like the least honorable For Honor fight I've ever had. I don't get why my dude is running from him. Like, what's happening over here right now? I did it.
Victory.
A victory for us. Alright, I think this is also first to 3, so we got one more round here.
Round 3.
Watch me get wrecked by this berserker. I'm so bad at fighting him. I want him to do that jumping heavy again. Yep, so I can parry it. Yeah, it's incredibly satisfying. But we are down. Oh no, we're in the lead. Okay, we're up 2-4. So this poor guy probably doesn't even know I'm coming. So this character does not have high mobility, as you might have noticed. The dodge forward is not a roll like it is with the Orochi, but their dodge forward makes them sprint. Oh no! How did you die, dude? Don't get killed. And by the way, if you get taken out by an execution, you are dead and cannot be revived, as you might expect. I've got enough kills to fill up my bar here, so I can use my heal. Once you get it full enough to use it, it just gets triggered by a cooldown, so you don't have to like rebuild your meter to be able to use it. Now, was this a person who died? No. Oh, hey. Nah, not that easy. Alright, I got my AoE thing. I've never used it, so let's see what that's about. Oh, that's not how you do it. Okay. Man, God, like, the straight up fighting game terms, huh? Okay, so this means I'm letting them get revives, and that's not good. I'm staying here and get healed since he's gonna walk out of it. And then they have the one other guy over there who's still alive. I'm gonna let you handle that. I don't want those berserker problems.
Victory.
Alright. So that was like probably my best match ever. So what a time to have that, right? I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. This is me getting all the post-match rewards. But like I said, I'll probably do more For Honor videos. I'm cooking up a video on Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, which is a really old game, but I got some stuff to say about it, and I know a lot of people who haven't seen it, so we'll check that out a little bit later. But thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more stuff from Everyone Who Cares, you can check out our website, everyonewhocares.com. Thanks so much for watching. You'll see more For Honor here for sure.